Today we're looking at the top 5 most difficult shooting techniques in football. Not all techniques were created equal. Some are harder to master than others. So let's see how many of these you've already got in your locker. At number 5 we have the Chivella, aka shooting the ball with the outside of your foot. This technique can be used for both crossing and shooting, and a lot of people who vouch for the Chivella think of it as a way of not having to rely on their weak foot. Now the most common thing people struggle with when practicing Chivella is getting enough height and power on the ball. And that's exactly what makes this, in our eyes, a more difficult shooting technique than curving the ball with your instep. Number 4 is the rabona. And yes, while it's definitely not the most effective shooting technique, it's without a doubt a very difficult one to master. The rabona is more often than not used for crossing the ball, and while we've seen a few wonder goals here and there, it's difficult to use it as a shot on goal, since generating enough power to beat the goalkeeper is once again difficult. But if you wanna look cool and skillful on the pitch, a successful rabona will usually make you look like a boss. Number 3 is the side volley, something we've all tried and absolutely failed at. The side volley requires balance, skill, eyeball coordination, and perfect contact to the ball, and it's nowadays even used by a lot of goalkeepers to distribute the ball. For outfield players though, it's not really a technique you will be known for, but if you master the side volley, you might score a few extra goals even when receiving a difficult cross. And like with every shooting technique in the world, learning the side volley is all about thousands of repetitions at the training ground. At number 2 we have the topspin shot, that some people also call the dipping shot. Think of this as the topspin strike in tennis. You wanna slice through the ball and hit the ball above the center, as otherwise it's physically impossible for you to generate topspin. But it's easier said than done. And while some players are able to only achieve topspin, oftentimes it's also combined with a little bit of curve. And this extremely difficult technique is especially useful in free kick situations where you need the ball to go up and down over the wall. Number 1 absolutely has to be the knuckleball, where the ball moves unpredictably in the air, usually as a result of the ball having almost no spin whatsoever. This effect can be achieved by kicking the ball as center as possible, as in order to avoid backspin and side spin, you obviously can't hit the ball too low, too high, or too much on the side. The knuckleball takes years of practice, and even then, it's very difficult to consistently pull it off. And it's without a doubt the most challenging shooting technique to learn. But when done correctly, it's the goalkeeper's worst nightmare. And that wraps it up for today's episode. Let us know in the comments below how many of these 5 techniques you've already got in your locker. Let us know what our next top 5 list should be about. And make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos about football boots and all things football. That's the episode for today. I'll see you next time.